What is up, Trading View? Welcome back to another markup where we're going to be going over XAU USD or GC1 or I guess just gold in general. But I'm also going to be taking a look at Bitcoin as well. I shared an idea and review on that yesterday. If you haven't got a chance to check that out, go ahead and check that out. It actually just hit one of my key levels. I had Bitcoin going down to 53,000, hit 53,000 perfectly. And now we're going to see how it reacts to that level and what's going to be the next approach from there. It barely broke below the last daily low that it gave on Bitcoin. But like I said, we're going to get into that chart as well. But for right now, we're on gold, and I'm seeing some maybe potential bullish upside on gold, especially with this wick that we're getting on the daily. Uh, but as we always do, we're going to start on our higher time frame and work our way down. We're on our daily now. We can see that we had the rejection off the flag right here. Um, we had a rejection off our 4 hour liquidity zone that we had marked up here, and price hit it and dropped down shortly. This could be in this area a higher low that is formed, but we're not going to be for sure or certain about that higher low until we get some type of rejection or movement back inside of this area right here. So let's go ahead, drop back down now into our 4 hour time frame. Let me show you this trade though that we had. I also had this idea shared inside of my trading view. So if you want to go see how this idea played out, go back. You're going to see the markup where we had this rejection off of our 4 hour liquidity zone, this right here. It barely went above, and I mean barely, by like 17 pips, and then it dropped a total of 640 pips just off that one move right there. Again, this is the 4 hour time frame. I'm kind of seeing we might get some top side here. I like I said, I can't be for sure just yet. That's why we're gonna work our way back down into the analysis, be able to get a better look. But the way this is forming right now, it looks like we might just get a push higher. And if it goes higher, we're gonna be looking for it to clear these areas now right here. So let's mark that. So this now becomes our 4 hour liquidity zone. And let's go ahead and make a note, a mental note of this. This was our last higher high right there. So that's important to know because if price breaks it, we would be looking for a couple of things. We would be looking for a clear break above. And let's just use our arrow. We'd be looking for a clear break above, something like this, where we would now get some type of price action back into this area. And then we would be looking to take the market higher, ultimately giving us a bit of a bigger flag. And sometimes these things are a little bit steeper if they're forming outside of a higher high. And in this case, this is what it would be for gold. So that would be one scenario we would be paying attention for. But we don't have to get that because, as you can see, we failed to break our last higher high. This is our zone. It failed to break above that last higher high. And what we're going to be determining our next move off of gold is how it plays in this area. So your big move isn't going to come like at the beginning of the week. It's not going to come on your Monday. It's not going to come on your Tuesday. But your Monday and Tuesday inside of the market are really going to set you up for that bigger play either Wednesday, or possibly it could just play around Wednesday. You might get the start of a move Wednesday, and then you're going to get the finish of the move going into your Thursday and Friday. I know that we have some news coming out tomorrow. It's a red folder, so it holds somewhat, some importance. I'm not too familiar with it. I'm not a huge fundamental trader. That's okay. That's just not the style I roll with. So if I'm not going to be playing fundamentals that deeply, I am just going to be aware of the folder that is coming out. So if it's coming out at 9 a.m., then I just want to make sure that I'm not taking trades in the middle of nowhere at 9 a.m. And again, my plan is to make sure that I see the market form some type of clear pattern or clear indication of where it wants to go in the overall direction right now, because gold has to make a choice at this moment. It either has to continue to push higher, which we could just because of the times that we're currently in. There's been a lot of wars breaking out. We're coming into this new election season. So there's so many reasons why, and especially with the job claims that came out, the stock market took a huge plummet the past couple days. Warren Buffett, he's been selling, I think, like 86 billion or something like that per quarter right now. He's getting very cash heavy, which means usually if someone is getting cash heavy, they foresee some type of economic downturn. In that case, they would be looking to buy back into the market after the market pulls back or it has some type of crash. So we're not opposed to those things. It's just is what it is. Yeah, sorry, I heard the neighborhood kids, they were going by on their bikes, and I wasn't sure if someone was at the door. Anyhow, yeah, we're not opposed to it. It is what it is. We just know now, like, look at gold, it is just pushing. And here's the thing, the key to trading is not forcing your hand into a position. If you don't see a trade there, then don't feel like you have to participate. Like right now, just because there's a bigger impulse going on the 4 hour doesn't mean that I necessarily have to be involved inside of the trade. Patience pays, especially in this case. The more, I guess you would say, bored you are as a trader, the better it is for you in your favor, because you're not just feeling as if you have to participate in every single trade that comes along. And that's what we're doing right now, is we're going to wait till we see a better and more clear opportunity that is more aligned with our strategy, with the technical edge, and especially with the pattern that I see. Now I'm going to throw this back up here because, again, like, I want to show, we're going to break down this trade opportunity for the buy and up into the this old 4 hour liquidity zone that we had, and the sell off of this 4 hour liquidity zone that we had. So we're dropping down into our 1 hour time frame, and right here is what you would label a ascending channel. And not only is it an ascending channel, okay, but if you look how price got into this area, it was very correctively. So again, this was my old 4 hour liquidity zone, but price got here very correctively. And I'm saying that correctively, but look at these candles right here. The bodies on the candles are really small. And it's like this for the entirety of it. It's every single candle in here is just super small. And then you have like one or two full bodies on a candle, but it's not enough to justify, the position continuing long as we're approaching a significant price point where price either likes to have some type of impulse away, meaning if I'm a buyer or a seller and I'm trying to get the best deal in the market possible on gold, or if I'm trying to sell my gold at the best price possible, then this is an area of significance where price reaches, and it's such a good deal and this is just layman's terms, but it's such a good deal on selling there that next time it reaches this area like it did here, that's such a good price point to sell off all your gold and then buy back in at a better area. So a lot of people liquidated their stuff on gold, the market dropped, and then they bought back in at a better price. And that's just the name of the game is how good of a deal can you get on the thing that you're actually buying. So in this area, we had one, two, three pushes inside of this in this ascending channel. There's three touches. This is what I play off of. One, two, three. And I'm not counting this because this is my liquidity zone that it's actually mass psychology in this area. Reaches up, boom, takes it out, and then price drops here. Uh, and then I took the buy here on gold last week. And I forget how big my stop was, but I knew it was, no, it wasn't. It was like right here. This was what we were looking for on gold. I bought in about right here, and then the market came back, wicked down again, and then continued to push up. There's also an opportunity to buy right here, smaller flag located on the 15-minute time frame. But I didn't even capture this sell because I was so focused on that buy position into the 4-hour liquidity zone, playing off of that mass psychology, that I grabbed my money for the day and I totally forgot about even looking on the short side. So I let this trade just completely sink without me even participating in it. So now what I'm doing is I'm waiting for price to show me what it wants to do. Not what it has to do, but what price wants to do, because the moment I start telling the market how it should act, I've already lost. So that's how I'm playing gold right now. And this is, again, these are the positions that I took last week. I actually took this sell right here today for 123 pips with a 3 micro. So it was right in here. Da-da-da-da. Let's get that correct for y'all. Yeah, it was something like this right here. But yeah, it was 126 pips with a 3 micro. I saw momentum pushing down here. I really saw it on the 4-hour candle, and I went ahead and I took the short down, and I'm glad I did. It played out really beautifully. Got out of the trade with my money for the day, and now I can really sit and wait till, again, either Wednesday or Thursday to be able to participate in the market. Uh, there's just such power in not feeling like you have to do something or have to participate inside the trade. Um, let's look at NAS. Oh man, look at that support and resistance zone that held up so beautifully. And it hit our target down here. If you go back into some of our past sessions, I actually marked up this target. It respected our support and resistance zone, and from our support and resistance zone, price then went ahead and dropped. What is that? 1,300 pips on NAS. US 30, it hit our 15-minute and our 1-hour liquidity zone that I'd had marked up. Again, those are also shown in some previous sessions. But the big one that we had was Bitcoin. And I actually, like I said, I marked this up. And Bitcoin, when I shared the idea, was somewhere in here. But I marked our 1-hour liquidity zone off of this low right here. Okay. And it's a liquidity zone because price came down, pulled back up, and then look, it wanted to grab that low, but it never did, meaning it was such a good price in this area that it never came back. It wanted to, but it never did. And you got to think about it again as getting a bargain in the market. It was such a good deal that price immediately took off. It tried to come back, but it just soared higher up into this area. So if I know it's a good deal there, then I know it's going to be a good deal again, where it's going to now become that good deal now becomes a target. So that's kind of how I look at these liquidity zones in a sense. Pretty simple. I've not anything someone taught me or told me. This is just years of trading in the market. After you see the market behave a certain way for so many years, you start to really piece together the puzzle. Price action tells a puzzle. These trend lines that I put up tell a puzzle. The certain structures that I put up tell a story to me. Price action going inside of certain patterns, inside of certain areas in the market, tell me an overall story of how I want to be handling a position. And now the biggest 1% tweak that I've had has been these liquidity zones that most people are like, well, why did you put it there? Why did you put it here? And it's not something that it's like you train your eye to see these things. Like, for example, this right here was a double top. Okay. Market came, took it out, and then it dropped lower. But what I'm paying attention to is this one area that price pulled back and then immediately dropped lower. And there's so many times in the market where these liquidity zones, present themselves. So like imagine having an edge that already puts you at like that 85% mark, versus a 50-50, right? If you flip a coin, you have a 50-50 chance that it's going to land on heads or it's going to land on tails. So if I now need to increase my odds, if I throw on things like reading price action, understanding candlesticks, increases my odds, again by 10%. Also, now if I understand patterns and market cycles, and I understand not just the patterns, but I understand price action within patterns within certain areas in the market, that increases my odds now again up to like 85, 90%. So now if I just throw in that thing called patience on top of it, I know that I have an edge that constantly works out in my favor. Now, my only job inside of the market is to wait patiently for the market to present me with an opportunity that aligns with my trading edge. So, therefore, I can use proper risk management, increasing my edge just a tad more again, where I can stay in the game long enough to win. That if my edge doesn't play out that trade, it's not that my edge there's anything wrong with my edge. It's just the market's the market. Sometimes it plays out in your favor, sometimes it doesn't play out in your favor. And those are things that we just can't control. We're playing within an imperfect world. And that's not just including the imperfect world that we already live within, but the market is its own wild west. There's just no set rules to things. But what you can pick up on is how the masses think. You can pick up on the mass psychology, and you can pick up on patterns. And with just those couple things right there, it just makes the world of difference. Just allow yourself enough time to participate inside of the market to really develop your skill and develop your edge to be able to take your trading ultimately to that next level. So I will catch y'all next Asia session. Like I said, I'm going to be waiting on gold. I'll still publish ideas. I'm still going to be sharing my stuff. You're still going to see me back here next Asia session. But boost the post, share some love, comment down below if there's something you would like me to look at. And if there's, something that you feel I could actually do better. I'm always open to healthy criticism. But it's been a pleasure, and like I said, I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I will catch you next Asia session. Peace.